Welcome to Cheapskate Garage.
But for now, we got the oil pan drying. It's all welded up. I painted it two-tone gray and green, kind of a military theme. I don't know why. I know exactly why. I'm cheap and I ran out of the green, so I went to gray. I just threw some paint on it to kind of make it all look all nice and keep it from rusting. Other modifications. I got my aluminum radiator in right there. And that now allows the radiator to suck right up to these fans. Let me show you. So you see how the cross member, it makes a U shape? Well, right in there and right in there, that deeper pan, it would rub. So now I know exactly why everybody's saying you got to modify the cross member. Well, you got to modify it to fit the oil pan. But this time around I decided to let's modify the oil pan. The oil pan's already been modified. If I have to modify the cross member, then I'm going to switch to that pan sitting up there on the wall, and that's got a trap door in the bottom of it. So we'll have to heavily modify the cross member for that. So I'm going to let the oil pan dry up a little bit, then reinstall it on the block. I'm going to put silicone all the way around it this time. Or again, the very first time when I built the motor I didn't. I just did in a couple key spots. And this time I'm going to put it all around everywhere just to make sure it's sealed up good. If you remember in past videos, I had a little problem with the intake manifold where the intake meets the head, where the head meets the china wall. Right in there I screwed it all up, and I'm not perfect, not everybody's perfect, but it was seeping oil pretty good. So I don't want to have any more oil leaks. Other than that, I got a recurve kit for the distributor coming, and I'd like to kind of just do a wait to install that and kind of just do a butt dyno with it and see how much the recurve kit improves it. And I also got an air fuel gauge coming, or no, it's here now. I'm going to put that in so that way I can see what this carburetor is actually doing and make adjustments wherever I need to, whether it's mid, low, high. I know before when I was driving it, I'd punch it and it'd kind of bog down just briefly in the center. Well, I read Summit's how-to on the carburetor, and it said you have to drop your power valve down. So I got a couple 4.5, 5.5 power valves. I think they're right here. Yep, that's a 5.5. The other one's a 4.5. So I got a couple options there. And yeah, just get it all dialed in, get everything ready to go. And then I definitely do still want to go and find some bigger tires for the back, because those little ones, it just spends a hell of a lot of RPM going nowhere fast. I mean, that's an oxymoron. Anyway, I'm going to grab some dinner, come back out, and bolt this oil pan on. Well, here we are. It's Saturday morning. Today's the day we're going to take that ugly-ass oil pan that I'm really proud of, bolt the engine, and throw the engine in the truck. Let's see if this thing runs again. Hopefully it will. So here she sits. We're getting ready to put this oil pan on. I'm going to go down and get a new gasket and some sealer, clean up this RTV, and we're going to do it right because I don't want to pull this engine out again. Basically just want to, I know I'm cheap, but if this gasket doesn't seal very well, it's just going to drip oil, and that's going to be embarrassing. So I might as well just do get the parts and do it right. Yeah. Oh, and if you might have noticed in that last clip, I got my SFI approved flywheel or flex plate, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm confused now. But sure, we're just gonna film a bunch of randomness today. Hopefully we'll film the engine going into the truck. Well, there she is. Not the prettiest thing, but It's dripping. That oil pan was free, so I don't really care how it looks. It's gonna work. Yeah, I could have bought the hamburger pan for $380 or $330, but fixing and modifying this one and make it fit, it works good. So let me explain kind of what happened. I modified the pan once, modified it again, and then when I dropped the engine down in, which I didn't take any video because I just wanted to get it done before New Year's. Well, New Year's is come and gone. But the pan was coming down at a sharp 90, and when the engine would rock down, it would actually end up, the bottom of the pan would hit the cross member there. So basically is what I had to do is I had to beat back in, and when I beat it in with the hammer, it ended up cracking what was the original weld. So now I've re-welded it about 3 times, and it should work, hopefully. It'd be nice if it was clean metal that I was working with and not dirty metal, like with little, you know, I tested out the old one and then cut it apart, and now I got little bits and pieces all over of the cutoff wheel, the sanding disc, little parts of oil in there. There might be some chrome plating that's left in there from the metal pieces, and all that stuff just contaminates your weld. So it makes it really hard to get a good weld. So I welded it, filled it full of water, found out where it was leaking from, add a little bit of weld, put more water in it, re-welded it, cut it, re-weld it. So I know you might have seen last week's video, but this is like the 5th time that I've welded this thing together to make sure it doesn't leak. I thought about why not just cover it with Flex Seal and do a whole video on Flex Seal. Flex Seal seals oil in. I don't know. But I'm going to try to get this thing flipped over. My back is really screwed up this morning. And get it ready to go in the truck. Let me show you how close it just really gets here. It's a tight fit. So I think what I'm going to do is, you can see that the engine's kind of rocked backwards. I'm going to get that blue ratchet strap, hook it to the other side there, pull the engine up about 1 inch in the back. It'll go straight in there. Well, look at all the room for activities down there. Before that was touching. Can I get it closer? Can I get the camera closer? We did it. We did it. Shitty welds and all. We did it. Well, hot damn, we did it. Even a little bit of perseverance and not giving up. You could do it too. Tell you what, this is called hot rodding. Making your own parts to make them fit. And I'm being cheap about it. Well, as cheap as I can be. Some stuff I did buy was kind of expensive. Like, I don't know what part. But I did it. It's going to fit. The hardest part of this whole thing is bolting the damn transmission back up to the engine. At least for me it is, because I'm laying on my back. Might save that for another time. So after a struggle, I got the transmission bolted up to the engine. I got all 6 bell housing bolts in. I got 3 torque converter bolts, a whole bunch of exhaust bolts, and a transmission cross member to get in. It's been a struggle, but we're getting there piece by piece. And then I got this new radiator put in. Some lines to make for the heater hoses for the new radiator. And then a carburetor to go through. And I think when I put the new carb in, or not the new carb, the carb back in, I'm going to put in the new, God damn it piece. I forgot the name of it. It's a, hold on, it's on the shelf. The new power valve. That's a 5.5. I got a 5.5 and a 4.5. So I remember back when I was driving the truck around, it seemed like it would just kind of have a little bit of a hesitation or a stumble when I dumped my foot on the throttle. And I was reading the directions on that carburetor, and it said take it down a notch on the power valve. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to see how it runs. Hopefully here Saturday, maybe. I don't know. It's taking me longer to do everything. You know, I'm only one guy in a garage that's a disaster. And I get 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there to work on it. So we're going to finish the transmission crossmember tonight and maybe start on some of the exhaust. I don't know. Well, let me show you where I'm at. My new heater got kind of hot in the garage, so I had to take off my sweatshirt. But I'm fighting the left-hand side exhaust. Let me show you. For some reason, it just don't want to fit in there. I got it in there the first time, and now I can't figure out how I did it. So I recommend if you're going to do a V8 S-10, do something with these brake lines here. Do that while the engine's out. It'll make life easier in the long run. So here it is next morning. It's a beautiful day. I wish this truck was done. Unfortunately, I got to do other stuff like take down the damn Christmas lights. But maybe it'll be done tonight and fire up in the morning. I'm not going to fire it up at midnight or 2 a.m. because, well, you know. But hey, I got neighbors. The hard part's done. The engine's back in. Both exhaust manifolds are on. We're down to carb, fuel, coolant lines, power steering pump. The steering shaft's back in. Yeah, last night I was tired and I sat there and I put it in and I'm like, let's go check it out. Look at the steering wheel and it was clocked 180 degrees out. I'm like, what the hell? So I had to pull it all apart again and flip it, rotate the steering wheel 180 degrees and then put it all back together. So if you pull it apart, just pay attention to that, because you can. I got to get some rubber for the radiator, the bottom, and yeah. And then make a couple mounting brackets for it. But I'm in the middle of trying to charge batteries. I don't know why, but the battery will not stay charged in my truck. I got a 1-year warranty on it. Oh, and I also got to do the trans cooler lines. So then tomorrow it'll be fire it up, top it off with everything, but right now I'm in the middle of doing other things, as always. So we're going to throw this other battery on the charger, make sure it's still good, because I think when I called on the warranty, they said I had a warranty for a Group 75 or Group 24 battery, and I think they got them mixed up. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna check it out. So here's one more thing that's fighting me. That lower radiator hose, I've got the clamp as tight as I can. I'm gonna have to go down and buy a new radiator hose. Obviously that 7123 or 71723 is not gonna be the right part number for this radiator. So I gotta go down and get a new one. Well, it's the next morning and I got a few things left to do. Trans lines, starter, coolant. I gotta rethink this. Is that really all that I got left to do to fire this thing up? Yeah, maybe. Let me show you what I did on the transmission lines. So here's the part number. And this adapts any hard line. This fitting will adapt any hard line to AN fittings. And let me show you. It's from Evil Energy. You can get them off Amazon. They're about 10, 12 bucks a piece. But there you go. That's the fitting right there. And I got the rest of my AN kit over there. And we're going to go ahead and drop these lines. Put these lines in. And hook everything else up. What am I missing? It can't be just that much. Oh, exhaust. And while the exhaust is out, I'm going to weld in my O2 bung for my wideband. It just makes sense, makes it easier. So my dumbass went and I welded in the O2 bung for my wideband, and I put it in the wrong spot. It's way too close to the transmission. So, fix that. I ordered a new bung and plug. Bung and plug. That sounds kind of wrong, but ordered it up. It'll be here Wednesday, so the O2 sensor is going to have to wait. I got to fix some transmission lines, and then it's ready to fire up after I top it off with coolant. So here's one more thing that's fighting me. That lower radiator hose, I've got the clamp as tight as I can. I'm gonna have to go down and buy a new radiator hose. Obviously that 7123 or 71723 is not gonna be the right part number for this radiator. So I gotta go down and get a new one. So instead of spending $47 on a new radiator hose, well, the problem is that this right here is 1.5 inches. And down there, that's 1.25 inches. Look at how I ran those lines down there. They look pretty nice. The top one's a little bit tall, but everything's coming together. I got one more part that I forgot to hook up. Comment down below if you can see what I'm missing. But yeah, so this little piece. Let's see. I'm doing this one-handed here. Let's prop it up where you can see it. Inserts right there. Now when that goes on, it takes up the void, so everything's legit. And it fits nice and snug and don't leak. So I'm going to snag this on real quick, and we'll get some coolant in her, get a battery in her, see if she doesn't want to fire up. Well, got my Econocraft battery I'm trying to put in, and I can't get the negative terminal off. I don't know why. I'm just fighting with it. Get off of there. Where's my knife? There, now it's off. Can't find my tripod, so you guys are just gonna get run-of-the-mill quality of me holding the camera. I'm only gonna run it for a few minutes. I'm tired. A couple minutes at top, and then shut it down for the night. Go in, get some dinner, and go to bed. Maybe start editing this video. But here we go. 355, small block Chevy. Will it run again? I don't know. Let's find out. I gotta prime it a little bit because the carburetor's empty. There's one. There's two. Sometimes I gotta take the key out and do it. Is it on like a time delay or something? Let me go look real quick and make sure it ain't the fuel fittings up there tight. That's about the only thing that could really go wrong right now. One of you guys was asking why this doesn't hold pressure. Well, it's because it's on a return system style, and the excess gasoline goes back to the tank, so that relieves all the pressure, and that's why. But I'm feeling around in here, no, I don't feel any fuel leaks. I got water or fuel starting to fill in the bowl there. Let's try it. Oh, let's check one more thing. Yeah, this thing will never run. I didn't plug in something. Here we go. Well, it cranks. Turn the key a little faster than what I was ready for. It's trying. We can get a little more fuel in the bowls. It is in park. Now we probably got enough in there. We got something wrong. I wonder if I'm getting any power to the coil. Well, cooling fans work, that's good. We've got something going on, but it was building oil pressure, so that's good. Alright, I bumped the distributor a little bit. There she goes. A little cold, but she went. I think the timing needs to be set again. Yep, we got timing issues. So rather than sit here and dick with it all night, I'm going to worry about it tomorrow when I'm fresh. Fresh home from work. Fire it up, that's all I cared about. At least, I mean, I know I had to adjust the distributor when I was, or I didn't adjust it. I thought I had to take it out to pull the motor out, and it turns out that I didn't, so. But for the second there, it sounded like it hit on all 8, so I'm happy. I'm happy. Yeah, I didn't look at the oil pressure gauge, and that's like the whole reason why it was apart. Should we do it one more time? Let's do it one more time. One more time. Yep, it was the timing. It's a timing issue, so I gotta get this thing reset. But that's okay, because now I can actually see it well. this engine light soon. So yeah, 355, she runs again. I'm definitely gonna have to get it off the ramps tomorrow and get it outside, or at least most of the way out of the garage where I can tune it up. But I'm happy. I'm super happy. It's been a long time coming. It's been down since what, October? I think. Second week of October. Yeah, makes sense. So yeah, I'm excited it's this far. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Like, but most of all, just share this video if you thought it was entertaining at all. I went through a lot of hoops and hollers and a lot of BS to get this thing to run again. And I think, if I remember correctly, I saw 62 PSI on the oil pressure gauge, so that's good. It's only got the 58 PSI spring in it, so yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.